Hello, happy bros.
Hey.
You're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.
And we're live, bros. How goes it?
Yo, what's up? Welcome.
I love how I have the dynamic hair. Like, it's just like the little
Yeah,
dreads,
yours is
like,
pretty cool. Mine is kind of bumps.
yeah,
We
yours
decided
are-
to
feel
switch
like-
it up.
I feel like I'm bigger than everybody else. Do I look bigger?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
so
because you're
if you
screwed up
go-
more.
Yeah, if you go to your avatar and you edit the body, it's all the far end of the edit options. There's an option that lets you zoom out and show a little bit more of the body. And then you
Hey,
can
I
see
charge
the-
for that. You want me to show a little bit more of my body?
Yeah, there was no other way
That's
to
awesome.
word that, eh? Yeah, I waddled right into that one.
I just met you, and this is crazy. Here's my body. Let me show you, maybe.
Zoom out, baby,
Nice.
zoom out. When
was
in
good.
doubt, zoom out. That's the crypto philosophies. But yeah, Miggy Crypto live co-host here as always. Thank you, bro, for stopping by and being here.
What's up, man? Super glad to be here every day. Always a joy, especially after a long day of work and getting my butt kicked. And I'm
Yeah.
glad we gotta switch it up with these avatars a little bit. I think they look pretty accurate to us.
Yeah, I'm definitely keeping the Avatar vibe going. It's more like Spaces with the podcast video thing meets Metaverse. I get to pick my nose and scratch my ass, and it doesn't fucking matter, and I still get to hold the conversation and have ADHD, and I get to look around my room and like pet my cat, and it's perfect. I think this is podcast gold for me. I hope it makes our guest James comfortable. I hope this isn't too disorienting to be a cartoon character. Are you used to this vibe?
No, dude, am I frozen? Like my head's not moving. I
No,
am I am
you're moving.
I
It's like
am I'm
slowly bobbing left and right, like a like
oh
a
I'm,
like a leaf in the or grass in the
But I see you
breeze.
blinking. I see your lips are pretty accurate.
oh no way. See on my screen, I am like a dead mannequin with only my lips moving. I
Oh,
haven't
man.
blinked in so long that I'm like a serial killer.
Oh, is your camera turned on or off? Because if it has an X over stop video, so I could do that too. And if I stop the video, boop, boop. So this is
Oh,
what it
look, you're a
does.
Oh,
It
genius.
there you
locks
go.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You're
Yeah.
a genius.
Now you're
it's pretty
free.
cool. Yeah. Now you can move around. It's pretty dope. I love
Just sometimes
Zoom.
I'll crack my neck and it'll show you.
And you know what
So
sucks?
much.
They'll probably fucking shelf this software in like a year. They'll just like abandon it. It'll be disowned, and yeah, because it's too
Right.
good. It's too free. They're gonna be like, fuck it, scrap it.
Now I'm in the metaverse. Yay.
Oh, thanks for joining us, James. This is gonna be fun,
Yeah,
man. If you
welcome.
would, please introduce yourself to the audience, us as well. Let us know a little bit about yourself. Maybe your outside of Web3 experience that may have led you to crypto and what you do in the crypto space.
So the short version is that I'm a mess. I'm a
Nice.
mess. It's a
Yes.
mess. It's horrible. So from I'm old, right? I'm 48 years old. I'm like Generation X. Not like you kids. Get off my lawn. I around high school when you have to start picking a career, and really good with computers. I like computers. Computers are cool, and I would hang out in the lab. But I was also like a hardcore metalhead. Not that I'm not
Oh.
today. I'm still a hardcore metalhead, and so I was the kid with the black leather jacket, the Faith No More hairdo, tearing apart computers, or trying to like hook up printers. It confused everybody. Like I don't know what this guy's doing. So I was because I was such a hardcore metalhead, I wanted to be in music and I wanted to be in radio. And I had like interning at the local FM radio networks, and I'd be in radio. In fact, I attribute graduating high school because I was basically bribing my teachers with concert tickets.
Oh
I'm like,
shit.
listen,
Nice.
when I work the night shift on Saturday, you're gonna hear me say be the 10th caller. And I'm gonna give you the special phone number and you're gonna call it. And when you hear me, you're gonna win the tickets. And you're gonna help me out a little bit. You know what I
Fuck
mean?
yeah, dude.
They
Nice.
loved it. It was great. Being a 10th caller, win yourself a pair of Aerosmith tickets. So radio was my passion. It was all I ever wanted to do. And when back then, a local radio DJ, you were a local celebrity, right? Chicks were lining up down the street. Everybody wanted to meet the radio celebrity, the local guy. And you hung out with rock stars, and it just doesn't pay the bills. There is no money in radio whatsoever. Nobody's Howard Stern except for Howard Stern. So you have to pick a
Right.
real career. You have to pick a real job. So my parents were 30-year veterans of the feds over at the Internal Revenue Service, and they're like, you should do finance. I'll get you in the IRS, and your life will be fine. Yeah, wow, dodge a bullet, literally. So I did do 5 years. I did do 5 years at the IRS. I could not get
Oh
out.
wow.
I could not get
Nice.
out fast enough. Um, but yeah, so I went to college, and I went I went to an Ivy League nursing school for computer science. It's like, oh my God, can you fix my laptop? I sure can. Bum, chicka, bum, boom. Come on, that was good.
Yeah, yeah. It was giving me flashbacks. I used to do a lot of the data restoration, micro soldering, chip replacement, repair stuff like that. So that's what I
Yeah,
was doing before I
that's
got into crypto. I love that stuff.
and that's what happened when I got out of school from Long Island. I worked for an interesting guy named Jordan Belfort, They eventually made a
Oh,
movie
wow.
about him,
Mm-hmm.
and he bought me my first car, and I got my first taste of money. And I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe finance ain't all that bad of a gig. I'm showing up. I'm like selling. I'm a telemarketer, right? And I'm just oodles of money. I had no idea it was against the law, and he was doing bad things. But that was my taste of the stock market and Wall Street. And then obviously, I think a lot of people know what happened over there. And I wound up unemployed. And I put my resume out on, remember websites back then? It was like monster.com was the top of the line, high tech. It's the most horrible Word doc of a resume on monster.com. And Bloomberg calls me. And Bloomberg, well, I'll tell you, I'll put it to you this way. She asked me a couple of questions about tech. I answered them. She goes, do you know who Bloomberg is? And I went, you're that TV channel I used as an alarm clock at 5 o'clock in the morning. And that woman said to me, that's good enough. Why don't you come on in? I get into Bloomberg, and Bloomberg is apparently this multi-million-dollar terminal that these stockbrokers use, and they pay like 25 grand a month just for news feed. And Mike Bloomberg, who I'd never met before in my life, was a short little guy running around like he's a dictator of some sort. I wind up getting hired at Bloomberg, and it was just that was when the doors opened up for Wall Street. I mean, like this is Wall Street. This is insane. When your boss comes out of a bathroom, he's like rubbing his nose. He's all coked up. He's like, "Do I look okay, man?" Like, yeah, yeah, man. You look fine. You got a little something right there. There you go. You got it. As this is the greatest career that you could ever have. So I did a lot of
What,
years at Bloomberg.
what was your favorite
I
part?
well, being a geek. Well, here's what's funny. Bloomberg has radio as well. So at one point, I'm out like swapping flat panels, right? I'm like swapping keyboards and doing hardware. And I would joke with the radio guys. I'm like, hey, can I do the traffic and weather on the eights? Like, yeah, man, come on in. It's cool. So I'm still holding on to that radio dream, right? Even if it's just traffic for the George Washington Bridge. Eventually, I got into, I climbed a ladder really quick. I was blessed. It got to the point where I was creating for Bloomberg their smart order algorithmic route trading. We were connecting exchanges across the world. I worked with CZ, God rest his soul. He was in the Princeton office. I was in the New York office. We built Tradebook together. And
Wow.
one day, thanks to greed, a couple of companies had heard about me because I was always working with them. And Merrill Lynch had offered me a job. And I said, oh, Bloomberg scares you. Bloomberg will tell you when you leave, you don't ever come back. You've left the family, right? And you're like, oh my God, I'm a
No.
trader. I like you're interviewing for Merrill Lynch and you don't even want to be seen. Like, there's no cameras here, right, guys? So I interview at Merrill Lynch, and UBS Warburg got wind that I was interviewing at Merrill Lynch. I'm young at this point. I'm still young. I want to say I'm 27 years old. I have a 2-year-old kid.
Nice.
I'm 27. I got a 2-year-old kid. I'm a newlywed, and I'm thinking about my future. Meanwhile, I own multiple BMWs. I'm living the dream. So UBS Warburg they hear about it, and I was like, "How did you hear this? If you heard it, that means Mike heard it, and I'm screwed anyway." So UBS Warburg says, "Look, they're in Connecticut, and I live on Long Island." They go, "We're going to set it up where you can get on the boat, take the boat over to Connecticut, and then come down here, X amount per year." I go back to Merrill Lynch, and I'm like, "Hey, UBS Warburg said." Merrill Lynch goes, "Yeah, well, we'll give you this." And I was like, oh, okay. And I went back to UBS Warburg, and I go, Merrill Lynch said this. UBS Warburg was like, all right. So I'm in a wheelchair, but most people know that. I'm a full-time wheelchair user. No big deal. Bone disease. I rely a lot on my vehicle. UBS Warburg was like, all right, check this out. You'll drive to the ferry, take the ferry over to Sound. When you get off the boat, your new car will be waiting for you at the ferry.
Mm.
And then you'll take that car to our office, thus alleviating the miles on your car. I was like, can it be? I was like, can it be any car? I've already had Jordan Belfort buy me a Jeep years prior. I was like, can it be that? Any car? And they're like, you name it, don't worry. I was like, wow. So I go back to Merrill Lynch and go, hey, Merrill, UBS got themselves a Toyota Camry and a free boat ride every day. What do you got? What do you got? Merrill Lynch goes, we'll give you free VIP parking in Manhattan private. Now that's worth like $2,000 a month in Manhattan.
Oh wow. Yeah, I
And I
bet.
was,
Yeah, parking up there is oof.
and I'm like, word. And I get, when you're in Manhattan, you kind of live in that life, right? UBS Warburg is over in Greenwich, Connecticut. You're like snotty at that point in Connecticut. You're not getting that bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich every morning. So I wound up going to Merrill Lynch. Went to Merrill Lynch. I accomplished a few things in life that they said couldn't be done, in terms of algorithmic trading and high frequency trading. A lot of things to be proud of. Uh, then at that point, and this is where I'm going to finish it up. I'm always into radio too. I'm still doing radio because I love radio, and I'm at Merrill Lynch, and Lehman Brothers contacted me and a buddy of mine, named Luis Rodriguez. We were brothers. Lehman Brothers says to us, "We need you to do a favor." And I was like, "I'm not switching companies ever again. I'm not. My kid's growing up. I got things." And they're like, "No, no, 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 no. We're gonna go out to dinner. We're gonna tell you what we need. We're just gonna pay you. You don't need to quit Merrill." And I'm like, "Oh, one of those things. All right." They wanted to create what was basically today you would call Twitter for the stock market,
Oh
and we
shit.
Oh
called it.
nice.
They called it indications of interest over a hub and spoke network via a service bureau. High tech words and all this, but it's a network. It's an internal network that you pay for that connects all the banks and all the providers for you to essentially tweet out, for lack of a better term, a whole bunch of Bitcoin bullshit. Not Bitcoin,
Nice.
BitBoy. Imagine BitBoy, right? Or imagine we were talking offline about TKOLs, right? So you had a trader over at Merrill typing out on a network, I need to sell all of my Google right now. Who wants it? And
Dang.
then other people would read that. And the intention of that was for a bunch of other people to go, why? Why is that dude going to dump all his Google right now? What does he know that we don't know? I don't know, but I'm going to beat him to it. And then they would go dump Google. And that son of a bitch was lying. So he went and picked up his
Oh.
Google real cheap.
Nice.
And then, somebody else might go, I'm looking to buy a shitload of this ticker right now. And everybody would be like, what? Joey? What the hell, Joey? Joey's crazy. I met Joey. Why would he buy a shitload of IBM? He's not even that type of guy. Let me go buy a shitload of IBM real quick. And then boom, and then Joey sells. It was
Yeah.
manipulation. Imagine Twitter. It's crypto Twitter, right? That's all we're doing.
But for the banks.
So here I am one day. I'm at Merrill Lynch. I'm doing my thing. I'm typing away. I'm creating smart order routing. Life is good. Two guys in suits show up on my floor. I mean, it was like Men in Black. It was like Will Smith and the other dude. And they're like, hey, we're looking for James Tiley. And you just knew this guy's screaming SEC. And I yelled out. My friend Lewis says to me, he goes, we heard you, bro. You yelled out, I have a wife and kids. He's at school. That was like my gut reaction. Don't come kill me. So the SEC guys come over and they go, look, we know you were doing your job. So all we want you to do is answer a bunch of questions. And I was like, cool, I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
Right.
They asked, how'd you build it? How did it work? How was it so freaking awesome? Because you had hundreds, thousands of stockbrokers all around the nation tweeting out dumb shit on a network like I'm gonna drop my bags of Tesla, right? And I was like, this is how it works. This is what they do. It's not regulated. I'm a I'm Series 6 licensed. I've already verified that nobody's breaking the law. He goes, you're right. Nobody's breaking the law. Sure as shit, within a year, they passed the law. They canceled the whole thing. You're not allowed to do that. That's the whole reason why our KOLs today are putting NFA on the end of their tweets. It was all my fault.
Oh
And
shit!
Nice.
Thank you
you
for your service.
Right.
right? But I mean, I shit myself though. I'm not gonna. I mean, I just this is I will tell you everything you need to know. The body's over there. There's cocaine in that drawer. Whatever you want, go get it. You could do it today
That's
for
awesome.
IPOs. As far as I know, they changed it where you could do it today for an IPO, but you can't do it after the IPO. You can't do it now. Like you and I were always like NFA, you know, and
Yeah.
because you're not supposed to give that type of advice, and you're not supposed to
Right.
threaten to dump your bags, right? Like, do you ever, especially with like meme coins today, right? These guys dump their bags and they announce it, or they get
Yep.
caught and they get doxxed out, and they're like,
Oh
"Why are you
yeah, we know this
doxing?"
was your wallet, motherfucker.
Like that guy Default did to Martin Shkreli, right? He was like, "Dude, we're best friends. Why would you do that to me?" Because there's no regulation. But back
Right.
then they were doing that on Wall Street because you were kind of anonymous. Your name was customer number 4923 69420. That was you know what I mean? And he's like, I'm dumping all my
Right.
Google. I'm dumping all my Shaga meme, Solana coin. They didn't care. So they changed that law. It was my fault. And
All your fault.
today I left Wall Street in 2011. I took blockchain technology, everything that I've learned about it from I got the Bitcoin back around 2010, 2011. You can find me in the old bitcointalk.org site. And I applied it to radio. And right now I'm living the American dream on my own, combining financial technology with the one career that does not pay, radio. And
I
I'm
Huh.
giving it my best shot.
I see it. Is it cyberfmradio.com?
That's exactly it.
All right, cool, cool. I just wanted to make sure we're sharing the right link with everybody. I'll post that in the Telegram. I'll make sure
That's
I
a whole
put
nother
that
story, but
on the
I've
live.
already absorbed all of your time. So now it's your turn. Tell me a little bit about you.
Miggy, you go
About
first, bro. Let them
uh
know a little bit about
yeah,
you,
for sure.
bro.
So yeah, my name is Miggy. I go by Miggy Crypto, of course, because my actual name is Miguel Celis. So I figure I was like, you know what? I'm gonna match the initials and make it easy on myself. I got involved with crypto in 2011, 2012. Basically spent, like a decade just kind of in and out, learning about blockchain technology and just kind of buying into altcoins and starting small groups, teaching people. I was pretty disconnected from like the majority of the community at the time. So I did a lot of things just kind of, trying to find people who were interested and kind of starting my own little, groups and stuff like that until, NFTs came around in 2021. I got connected with Ken's group in his chat to learn about them. One of our mutual friends gave me my first NFT, which was like a Street Fighter NFT from Wax Blockchain. And so I jumped into Ken's chat, started learning about it, and before the whole Beeple, sale kind of turned it into a huge thing, I was able to learn from Ken and his community that he had, about making NFTs on Wax, buying them, collecting them, the whole nine. And so by the time the Beeple sale happened, I had already been working with artists and curating art for NFTs, kind of just following in Ken's footsteps, what I saw what he was doing with people, and ended up taking advantage and just, really hitting the scene hard. And so spent some time in Miami, got to meet Ken for the first time out at Miami Crypto Conference, my first event to actually go to and be out and be part of the community. met him in person, and we kind of hit it off, and just kind of ended up spending like the next 2 years going to conferences together, getting into some crazy shit. He started Shitcoin conference, and did a lot of cool stuff, helped a lot of cool people, and onboarded, did a lot of onboarding. That was one of the things that I enjoyed, about working with him over the 2 years was, teaching a lot of people that were new to the space, and getting people involved who had never been involved before. A lot of stuff that you don't typically see people really doing much of lately. And fast forward into now, getting to work together, a couple years later on this podcast, and working for Asvoria as the brand ambassadors. Shout out to them, and also our logo sponsor Fio. And yeah, just try to cram in the last 12 years of Web3 into, a nutshell, but that's pretty much it for me. And so I'm here.
Love you, bro. Yeah, man. I got Mickey, threw me in there with his introduction. Got into the space in like 2015, 2016, right around the Snapchat IPO. That's when I found out what an accredited investor was, and how you're allowed or not allowed to participate in IPOs. And then when Snapchat went public, I went through all the hoops for TD Ameritrade, and I bought the public launch of Snapchat and lost all my fucking money. But if I could have gotten in on the IPO, I could have became a accredited investor. But yeah, I heard about Ethereum. I heard about ICOs, and they had no KYC. It was very Wild West. They made buying, assets feel like drugs. It felt fucking cool. So I was like, you know what? Just shut up and take my money. I'll figure out what these crypto things are later. I even wrote an article in like 2016. I don't know what a Bitcoin is, but I own one. And it was like $430 or something for a whole Bitcoin at the time. And from there, I just started getting paid in Bitcoin. I used Bitwage to get paid directly in Bitcoin from my boss, my employer at the time. He gave me an account number, a routing number, and through Bitwage, I just gave them a Bitcoin address, and they got my direct deposit from work. They sent that Bitcoin address Bitcoin, and every week in 2016 moving forward, I got my paycheck directly in Bitcoin. I didn't have to buy Bitcoin. I was earning it. I opted out of fiat, back then. By 2018, I got to quit my day job, started traveling the world. I've been to over 300 conferences involving, crypto, blockchain, fintech. I've been to a lot of cannabis conferences to talk about crypto. I've been to at least 3 or 4, adult entertainment, sex worker friendly conferences to talk about crypto. Literally been around the world. Got to be on cruises with John McAfee and Roger Ver and Brock Pierce and all these crazy people. And yeah, got to just, from being the roadie in the space, a lot of people know me. I'm known by a lot of people. And CoinDesk invited me to Austin for Consensus. The Litecoin Foundation invited me to the Litecoin Summit. And what was it? The Bitcoin Magazine people, right? They're doing the Bitcoin conference. They reached out to me. So, yeah, man, it's just I kind of got into this spot where it's I'm low key, I'm invited now. I used to be sneaking in just for the fuck of it. I'm a degenerate. I could always buy a ticket, but there's no fun in that, right? Now it's they're going to give me a free ticket, try to take the fun away, but now I just have to figure out how to get my friends in through one of the fire escapes. Fuck this, let's go, round 2. The degenerate just has to put a suit on, but all my degenerate friends with the pajamas are still going to get in through the back door. I don't know, I'm that guy. I've publicly been a millionaire multiple times, made it, lost it, made it, lost it, made it, spent it, lost it, made it again, just a roller coaster of financial emotions. I don't really give a fuck about money. I publicly staked a million hex. That was 50 cents each. That was $500,000, and I staked it for 15 years just for the shits and giggles, just because it's not about the money, it's about sending a message. I think Bitcoin was created to incentivize quantum computing, and quantum computing makes the ideology of currency and money obsolete. So we can get out of this whole loop, this feedback loop of fucking monetary system that doesn't need to exist. Technology has made it obsolete. I think Satoshi made the fucking honeypot at the end of that rainbow. But that's me, bro. It's good to meet you, James.
Thank you.
Toshi
Yeah,
Pop.
I'm impressed. In fact, let me ask you. Here goes the radio thing, right? Let me interview you. Let me. I'm that guy that had when I first got into Bitcoin, man, thousands of them. They were so easy to get, and I didn't appreciate. Obviously, fast forward. I used to buy bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches in Manhattan. The deli would charge you 1.89 Bitcoin, right?
Nice.
And the fact that the deli could do that, I remember saying, "This is the greatest thing ever." Clearly, this is the future,
Yeah.
right? Not realizing that I'm paying 75 grand 15 years later, for a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. But at the time, it made sense. Do you think that if you could sit down with Satoshi today, he would be happy with the entire current environment? Like, do you think we've ran away from everybody should be having access to Bitcoin and maybe actually buying a car instead of trading futures? Like, I was
Hmm.
early on. I find myself I'm not a maximalist, and I joke at maximalists at times, but I find myself wanting to be a maximalist now. I was all for decentralization. I was all for not your keys, not your crypto. And honestly, I still am. But I interact daily with these. My target audience in my other podcast is always geared towards people that don't know. They don't know, they're not. But I look at like Reddit, Coinbase, and I say to myself, I could never interact with these people. They could never be my friends, right? I could never talk to this guy who's calling Coinbase a scam because he left 900 grand sitting in this hot wallet, and then he answered an email from a .xyz. I'm like, just no. You know what? Maybe go home. Maybe this
Yeah.
wasn't meant. I find myself saying to people, this might not be for you.
Yeah, it's technological Darwinism. It's the survival of the most intelligent. It used to be the fittest physically, now it's the fittest mentally. And I don't see anything wrong with that necessarily. This isn't for everyone, and dumbing it down isn't possible. Like Satoshi said himself, if you don't understand, I'm sorry, but I don't have the time to fucking sit here and explain this shit all day. I know I'm paraphrasing, but I'm sure my man wanted the mic drop, but he held his tongue, or, well, his thumb, or, he was typing it out. But yeah, I do see though that we have that Bitcoin. I say we, right? I'm not fucking Bitcoin core, but I do see that Bitcoin has lost its muchness. It's like as far as like the Mad Hatter would say to Alice. It's leapfrogging over the lower class that Satoshi built this for microtransactions for people who needed this that the banks wouldn't allow into their systems for whatever reasons, and cross border transactions where monetary systems, like I could never buy a comic book from somebody in North Korea, but now I can. Hey, cool, I see this comic book, what's your Bitcoin address, boom, done deal, right? And I think that's what Satoshi envisioned more or less, and we're seeing Bitcoin become banked, all these processes in which even to use Bitcoin now seems around the same process of getting a bank account, right? It's like I see, the wallets in the App Store not too far from mandatory KYC. If you just want to get a wallet from the App Store, probably going to have to KYC soon just to have the wallet, expose the private keys or something like that. If you don't want to have your private keys, maybe you don't have to KYC, but somebody, hits that wallet up with a cease and desist or whatever, they're probably just going to freeze your assets, and you're not going to have access to your private keys because you didn't KYC. You know what I mean? So I could see
And I think
any
that's a
wallet doing
problem.
that. Yeah, it is a
See,
problem.
Right.
It sucks.
that's a problem. That's not what we wanted initially,
Right.
and I blame. I want to say, f you Coinbase, and they're great, right? They did mess it up. We wanted. It's a hard thing for me to grasp myself. We
Yeah, I mean,
wanted
I could
mass
sit here all day
adoption.
and tell you why Brian Armstrong should be in prison and fuck Coinbase.
Right. No, I agree. But at the same time, at one point, we were preaching mass adoption and we opened up the floodgates and we brought on some mass adoption, we didn't perhaps do like an IQ check.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and some of these companies that we've allowed to become key major players are screwing us. I'm sorry, but they're screwing us.
Well, we got massive adoption before mass adoption. That's the problem. We got the mass adoption of the one percenters. That's why you haven't seen such volatile price movements in the past couple years in Bitcoin. You know, it's like, did it buy the rumor, sell the news? The next would have to be like, I don't know, the Queen of England gets into Bitcoin. The Vatican themselves are storing their wealth in Bitcoin. That
Right.
might be the next buy the rumor, sell the news that gets Bitcoin up to 250,000 Bitcoin or whatever the fuck these hopium salesmen have. But I think Bitcoin has hit mass adoption within the 1%. The elites of the elites are in, and that's why we have seen this plateau. Getting the futures and ETFs and everything, that might get the plebs in, but it's OTC purchases that aren't reflecting any value on the market when it comes to Bitcoin. They're all getting these contracts from miners for Virgin Coin. It has nothing to do with the price of Bitcoin on the market, right? They're overpaying for Bitcoin, but it doesn't affect the price for us. That's why they get to play the futures and ETF game, and it's all back to paper gold. Like, it's business as usual. But that's why I'm saying, like, I think Bitcoin has hit mass adoption. The mass 1%, you know, then the whole of 1% probably is in on Bitcoin. We got 500 million around that number of people in Bitcoin, right? I think it's these meme coins that are gonna have the next wave. I want to see us rug the rich. You know, if you have Bitcoin, sell it, make it dump on Michael Saylor and Jamie Dimon, and rug pull BlackRock, bro, and dump your Bitcoin.
Man.
If you're mining Bitcoin, stop. Force Jamie Dimon to buy a mining facility and actually contribute to this shit, and stop being a financial parasite who's just shorting it on the back end. It's hilarious.
Or
But
just
yeah.
get people to stop running those nodes so that way the transactions become so high.
That's what the
And the miners
ordinals
are
are,
making,
though,
like,
bro.
mad
It's
bank.
fucking, it's drugs. It's like, here's some free drug candy. It's carrot on a stick, you know what I mean? To get you to keep running these nodes for them for free. They ain't
Stop
contributing
running
to this
nodes.
infrastructure, dude. They're just leeching off of it.
So how many
Yeah.
times do you think we have to try? How many times do we have to take a look at Ethereum, right? Ethereum, major player, number 2, right? Smart contracts and how it can do shit, right? You can do shit with Ethereum and
Yeah.
everything, right? Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, all right, got MetaMask. I was a big MetaMask guy. I love MetaMask. MetaMask is the bomb. Wait a minute, we connect to Infura. Wait a minute, Infura is judging countries based on decisions they make. All of a sudden, you're getting blocked out of Infura. Wait a minute,
Yup.
this RPC node is hosted on a network that got mad at Infura, and now all of a sudden I can't use Meta. Now it's over, right? Now I lost
Yup.
Bitcoin. Now I lost Ethereum, right? What's next? Who is going to I'm going to say, everybody's going to get mad. They're all posers.
Yeah.
They're all
Holy
of them.
shit.
I do not trust the next guy. I don't trust the Solana CEO. I'm sorry. Because
No.
he's going to become big enough where his shitty network, with all the pump.fun tokens, which is great. They're fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about it. I have never, shout out to Martin Shkreli, if you know that name.
Oh, yeah, my
Uh,
boy.
Right. So he's the one who convinced me to download the Phantom wallet, right? Because he's doing his thing over there. I mean, this is 2024. This is May. And I'm like, bro, I've got a lot of scruples. I am not going to Solana. I'll trade that shit on like MEXC or whatever, but I have not, I've got MetaMask already let me down. He's releasing a coin over there, and I'm not trying to shill it, but that guy, because I know him, got me to install Phantom. Here's the point of this statement. I'm looking at Phantom right now on the Chrome extension, and I went, son of a bitch. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
use
dang it.
Phantom. It's all I use, man. And I'm all
I'm
in
like,
on
why is it good?
Solana.
It's not supposed to be good. Why is it good? Now I'm mad at myself, right? Now I'm angry with myself. I'm going to import my Ethereum keys into Phantom because
Yes.
just 8 weeks ago, I'm like, fuck you, fuck Solana. I don't want it. I don't want nothing. And all of a sudden, I'm like, this thing is fast on the mouse. This
Yep.
thing actually has prices in it. It's everything that MetaMask was
Oh,
nine
bro, wait
years
till you see the
ago.
mobile experience. It's so dope. It's so clean, user intuitive. It's
Yeah.
just intuitiveness. That's why I like it. But Phantom,
So
and
he got
no
me all
sponsor or
in.
anything. Just yeah, I'm into it. What's the name of the token? We incentivize and encourage shilling here. So please let us know.
Well, if you go to look, I know the guy personally. What's his handle? Is it M Shkreli? He follows me, but he tweeted the contract address just recently. It's not. He's rolling out a real product, and that's how I also kind of appreciated it because I'm
Okay,
I'm
cool,
that
cool.
guy. I'm that
Well,
guy
the
that only
only
wants to do real products. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
called
no, I dig
Shoggoth,
it.
which is
Shugga.
you know what
Okay.
Shoggoth is, right? It's that wild
Mhm.
looking animal. It's like a prehistoric mythical octopus that will kill you.
What the
But
fuck?
it's going to
Did we
be
run out of
image.
actual animals now? We're just like up
Nice.
to.
Yeah, now we're just
Mythical
making shit
ones.
up as we fly. I did have to look it
Yeah,
up
we're
on.
going back to fucking like prehistoric shit where we just make up mythological. It's isn't even considered mythological if it's relevant.
I
Like,
had to go to Wikipedia to look up what a Shoggoth was. I am not cool like that.
That's
Martin
funny.
Shkreli, what is he? That's Martin Shkreli. That's his name. That's his
yeah,
at name.
yeah.
He tweeted the contract address, and that's. But he's releasing a real program like Cyber FM, right? Cyber FM. And again, I'm old school. If the cryptocurrency blockchain aspect of it failed, the company could still run, right? You don't need a token. And it's going to be the same thing with this. He's big on AI. He loves that web GPU, JavaScript, WebAssembly language, and as a geek, I respect that. And if it wasn't him, I would not have downloaded Phantom, and I would be because I was that guy. I was like, I'm not going to another network.
We're gonna
I'm
have to
not
get your
doing
wallet
this.
address. Well, I got some Soul shit coins I'd love to send you. I got some Soul Soul on Solana. That's the
Mhm.
meme coin I made. And then I think Miggy has Miggy. Is it just Miggy?
Yeah. Well, that's Mickey. Wait, it's Mickey's. Wait, I forget. Oh, Mickey's
My
clubhouse token or something, and then it's just
my
Mickey for the ticker.
my partner over at because I also have my podcast teamblockchain.net and our target audience is either the new guys learning or the high level accountants and lawyers. And we recently did the UK Supreme Court that was handling the defense for Craig Wright's case. Craig Wright got pissed off, started yelling at me. I challenged Craig Wright on Twitter. I shut Craig Wright down. Like, no, I mean, anybody could shut Craig Wright down, right? But I hit him pretty hard and he got all pissed off. And the only thing I got out of it was, well, thanks for being a listener. So now my business partner over at Team Blockchain was like, you should make a meme coin for the wheelchair, right? Like a wheelchair with headphones, long hair, like a Guns
Nice.
N' Roses logo, right? And he goes, people will love it. And I'm like, I'm 48 years old, man. I don't know. Like, am I a degen? Am I going? I've gone from Bitcoin maximalist to like trying to jump in on pump fun degen. That bastard rugged me. I'm gonna have to go try again.
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
dick.
Welcome to the Degen side, bro. And this is I think uh the cycle. It's a cycle. I think it leads right back to maximalism, and then right back to degeneratism.
Be a
It's one of
degenerate
those.
maximalist.
Yeah,
Nice.
fuck yes,
Yep.
that's what
That's it.
ordinals and runes are, bro. It's for fucking Bitcoin maximalists to go full degenerate, right? They invented a thing so they could experience all the fun that we're having with shitcoins, but within their own, intranet ecosystem, their echo chamber of like maximalism. Now they could play around with their own shitcoins. Like color coins were fucking dope. Dude, if it wasn't for the concept of color coins back in 2015 when I was researching Bitcoin, I'm not sure I would have got into this shit because it was corny, it was super boring, it was all end to Fed and this is money, and I'm like, who cares? And then some dude was like, yeah, but you can color on it and draw, dick pics on this digital money. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can put a mustache on the president type shit? Like, like that's what you do on a dollar bill. You draw a little Hitler mustache on George Washington. Ha ha ha. You hand it in, you get your candy, and you run away from the store before they notice you graffitied the currency. And now I could do this with Bitcoin? Sign me up. I'm in. And then, Andreas Antonopoulos talks about the Internet of Money, and then Vitalik comes out with the Internet of Things, and I'm like, oh, this IoT shit's about to get lit. And now, yeah, I'm all about ordinals and runes because of that.
It's got IoT and ICOs and IPOs and IDOs and IEOs.
We need to get a fucking chart for, like, are you drunk, or, like, for an eye chart test, like 2020 vision type shit, and just have all these acronyms lined up.
We spell when wrong, right? Now we got frogs. So we're going to put frogs on Bitcoin blockchain so that people like Sailor can finally feel like they're one of us, right? You got a little Sailor GIF going, one of us.
Well, like you said, they're fucking posers, bro. And this is how they're gonna fucking, this is how they, represent their poserness. It's kind of
now
funny.
You want the frog. Now you want the frog.
Yeah. Dude, that's how I feel when Elon Musk was like, I'll take your Dogecoin for this Tesla. I was like, of course you will now, asshole. Why don't you go back and do it 3 years ago, dick?
Oh, God, Dogecoin.
Ruined it. I think any mainstream involvement ruins the meme.
Here's a great idea. Let's go on Saturday Night Live and yell to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
That was a remarkable night, and I knew that this son of a bitch is gonna ruin it.
Dude, you know what that moment felt like for me? That felt like me walking in. No, dude, me walking in on my mom, listening to like my favorite band on her own, listening and knowing all the words, singing, and I'm cringing, and now I can never listen to that band again. I'm giving my mom all the albums. Here's all my Bitcoin, Mom. I'm out. This is corny. I'm gonna go find something cooler.
Oh my God, are my parents?
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Elon was like your dad getting into your same music in high school. You're like, well, now that my dad listens to this shit, it's kind of corny. I'm gonna go listen to something more cool. And that's Dog with Hat.
Dog with hat, baby.
Yeah. My dad's dog ain't got no hat. That's why my dog's cooler.
It's funny. It's funny you say that. I'm a car guy. I own like 9 cars right now in my driveway. And I have, high performance, I have imports, I have EVs. But I remind Elon that Tesla is not a real car. I have a real EV. So I have these, I'm addicted to cars, and I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh,
that's what addiction does to you.
I just lost my whole train of thought. Oh, did I just say oh twice? Like, that's right. That's right. The reason, it really was, the reason that I never created even an account at FTX, the reason that I never bothered to even have a login at FTX, nonetheless give a shit about Sam's existence, is because I went backwards in time, and I remember Mike Bloomberg telling me, if you're a billionaire, you show that shit off. You make sure people know you're a billionaire.
Yep.
You could be a philanthropist, you can give your money away, you can do it, but you party. You don't show up in a Honda Civic, right? He had a Lexus. When I found out that Sam Bankman-Fried was driving a Toyota fucking Camry, I was like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not buying. I'm not logging in. Because you are a poser. And if you're a poser, somebody's feeding you info, right? Somebody is setting you up.
Yeah.
You are a guy. You're our front man. Have your little afro going on. Take you Ritalin. Have your fun sex with Caroline.
Eat your cucumber.
Eat your cucumber. Keep it out of your ass. But you get back in your little Toyota Camry, and you don't come out until we tell you. I was like, FTX is going to pull. And the same thing with Celsius. I'm a New Yorker. I grew up in New York. If you are my age and you're a New Yorker, you knew that Alex Bashinsky was going to screw you since 1992. I was
Oh
watching people
man.
get, I'm watching people buy Celsius, and I'm watching people throw their coins at them. Take my Bitcoin, take my Ethereum, please, right? Pay. I'm like, you guys know who this guy is? What's the matter with you?
You know, I
This guy's a
actually
con in
like.
every.
I thought he did the voice over IP. He got me. He got me 100%. I
Well,
got
that's the.
because even back in high school when I looked into voice over IP, he was there. So it was like now I'm in crypto. I'm like,
Right.
fuck, I remember this guy from high school because I did a VoIP article for class. And it just
But if
added
you
that
lived,
credibility.
if you lived in New York, you knew that what he did with voice over IP was the problem. He took. He's a genius. Don't take that away from him. The guy's a genius, like all the rest of them, and that's how they make money. He tokenized the prepaid burner minutes on the network, on the MVMOs, right? So now I'm just going to say it. You're in the Bronx, you're a local drug dealer, you got your burner phone, you want to buy more minutes, but you want to do it OTC, right? Oh, it smells a little bit like crypto. He built an exchange, the same word, where you went and you sold and you bought your airtime minutes for your phone. You know what happened to those airtime minutes? What do you think happened to airtime minutes when they were in high demand or then when nobody wanted it? They
Oh
would pump.
wow.
You're blowing $4 a minute for your burner minutes. And then finally, some dude was like, I bought way too many minutes. I'm going to dump these for 28
Is
cents,
this the
right?
same method that they used in Africa back around the same time? Because I know that there was like a cell phone minute economy that is actually now like an actual like recognized economy with cell phone minutes. But that's I never connected those dots.
That was his big, and the other big accomplishment was he ran networking through the subway system. So, okay, thank you for your contribution. I could be on the phone on the subway. But I'm buying burner minutes. I'm getting raped by a pump and dump scheme. It's you know
Right.
what I mean? So when he got into crypto, I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this guy. I know this name. Right. And he's like, give me your money. I'm gonna give you 49% returns on this coin.
Mm.
And I went, oh
Big
yeah.
connect.
It was dude, it was literally somewhere in this world, some dude knew that guy from BitConnect and he's laughing at us.
Yeah,
Right. So
no,
I was
for
laughing at the
sure.
Alex. I'm laughing at Alex. I prejudged Sam. You shouldn't be prejudiced. You shouldn't do that. You know what? Toyota Camry.
Right.
You know what though? I judged him based on FTX Arena and not being able to be a United States citizen and use FTX. Like I was like, what? No,
Mm.
nobody sees a red flag here.
Right.
That's a valid point. That's about. Hey, Blockfolio was not. Tell me, Blockfolio was not the greatest app at one point in time. I used it
Isn't it
hardcore.
still around?
No,
No.
that's how FTX. They
Oh,
bought
that's
it.
right. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad. That's crazy. Oh my
But
gosh, that's crazy. I
it
forgot all
it
that.
used it used. I mean, we're going backwards, right? It used to be
Yeah.
you downloaded Blockfolio, you connected
Hmm.
your little API, and you had in one little app your portfolio.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
all you had to do. Sam
Yep.
bought it. All of a sudden, now what I'm
It's
paying, and now I got to
exchange.
trade. Right. This is what
Do
I'm
you
talking
remember
about
that
over and
that
over.
app Best Broker?
Yeah, yeah, best
I
broker.
love that shit, man. Especially when they added crypto, I started telling people like, download it, play with it. They give everybody 10 grand worth of imaginary money. Let's see how good you are next year. You know, with this fake money they gave you.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate of paper trading. I think everybody should paper trade. I still
Yeah.
paper trade to this day. I'll paper trade just to get a feel for the market for the morning,
We need
right?
more
Friday's up
gamification
day.
for it.
That too. That we should probably. I think they're trying, but they're not going the right way. They're not. They're not. Their leaderboards are based on volume, and you're right back to like you were saying. All right, the one percenters are going to win all the games.
Yep.
All the games. Well,
All the
before we
games.
get to the end of the podcast, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Cyber FM? I like that you guys have that. That's tokenized, right? You guys that's on the blockchain, or is that kind of like
So
a
it's
non-chain
tokenized.
token?
We're no, it's tokenized, and we're actually upgrading right now. So everything's kind of we're gonna go with version 3. We have the ability to do that. Here's what Cyber FM is. I created Cyber FM back in 07, 08. We had the financial crisis going on, and our friends at Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns and a few others, they lost their job. And the cool thing about Wall Street was that every single bank, every single fintech firm, everybody knew each other, and everybody had an independent band. So on the weekends, you're like, where are you going? I'm going to go see Joey's band over at Merrill. I'm going to go see Jessica sing at, down at the bank for Lehman. Everybody had an independent band. It was their therapeutic release for the weekends. I mean, even releasing albums. When they all lost their jobs, their career just became music at that point. That's all they had left. Nobody was hiring. So while we were sharing each other's music, we had created this network, and everybody was in tech. So we had firewall guys going, yeah, I'll break open this port so that we could all stream our music together.
Nice.
And we built this little network for streaming audio only for the bands out of Wall Street. The Bloomberg band, the NASDAQ band, the OMS band, everybody's band. And when everybody collapsed, an old friend of mine from Bloomberg, while I was at Bank of America, had said to me, hey, man, I want to put together a show. I spoke with Madonna's manager. Madonna was going through a divorce with Guy Ritchie. And he goes, I want one of the bars. And Madonna and Guy Ritchie agreed to the manager, let them do whatever the hell they want to do. Just we can't be bothered with this right now. We're not even interested in making money with our bars. So we got Crash Mansion in downtown Manhattan for free that weekend.
Wow.
We decided to do a thing. We said, okay, only a couple of independent bands from the bank are going to perform. They're going to perform. And if you are laid off from Wall Street, or if you're a recruiter, you pay no door fee and you get one free drink. And I mean, what'd you do? You just involved beer and rock and roll with
Nice.
getting a job in the worst possible time that could have happened. They said that we created like 300 job leads that night.
Wow.
Just getting drunk with a recruiter, you lost your job, swap a resume. We broadcast it live so that if you were elsewhere, you could at least tune in and, get the band out. A buddy of mine calls me later. He goes, that was fantastic, man. He goes, I have this name called Cyber FM. I don't know what to do with it. And I immediately said, I want it. He's like, yeah, I mean, it's a dumb name. I'm like, it's not a dumb name, dude. It's cyber, internet, and it's FM. That's radio. What are you, stupid? Give it to me. He gave me the domain name. Just handed it to me.
Nice.
We launched Cyber FM, and we were at Wall Street Radio, and we still.
So you're probably why fucking Sirius FM is called Sirius FM and not Cyber FM.
Right. Sky FM, High FM, all 181 FM. It's all my
I
fault.
wish they had this name. That's so great. That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Just like I ruined IOIs with the SEC, I ruined IOIs.
I gotta clean my keyboard after that one, dude. I had a mouthful.
Fast forward today, there's a lot of laws involved with music and money and royalties. And I had, back in 17, kind of like you, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm involved in blockchain. I understand the technology. It was an aha moment. We were the first token ever, as far as I know. I've been told. We were the first token ever back then where the white paper had the F-bomb in it.
Nice.
And that was, you're not professional. No, the F word in our white paper relays exactly the problem that we're going to solve. And it was a song from Aerosmith back in the 70s. And the line was, if the Japanese can boil cheese, then where the fuck's my royalties?
Oh,
Because
nice.
these artists can't go into Japan and tour and get paid because they don't have any copyrights out there. So if they do go to Japan to sell records, they're not getting any other compensation because there's no laws for that, which means you got to go back to the US. I said, wait a minute. If we used a token as a marker to log every IP address for every song, for every listener, while maintaining anonymity, right? I don't need to know that your name is Miggy. I just need to know what your IP address
Right.
is. I need to know where you are. What country are you in? You listen to Taylor Swift? Log. Put the token. You put the you put it in the you put the token on the little marker, and you are there. The government loves to audit us. They love to audit us. They love to challenge us. They love to tell us we're wrong. But guess what? You can't do on a blockchain. Can't fuck with it, right? It's immutable.
Right.
So now I said we created a system where we're logging the royalty copyright rate for every streaming artist, for every listener, for every song in real time, and you can't fuck with it. Take that,
Wow.
federal government. Not only that, if it's a token with a monetary value, how nice would it be if Taylor Swift and all of them said, all right, I'm into crypto. Let's not accept the US dollar. So I'll tour in Africa, I'll tour in Russia, I'll tour in Canada, and I get paid the same universal currency no matter what country I'm in. And that was our
That's
goal.
legit.
And to be
I
honest with you,
see.
we accomplished it. We just don't have that monetary value behind us yet.
Got you. I see that you have the where did I was just there. The live 10x. Oh yeah, live 10x
Yeah.
events. And it says listed in the US time zone. This is Tuesday 2 p.m. There's the one for style. Anything goes Tuesday at 4 p.m. The
So I do the any.
MFTU. Yeah, all different
Yep.
kinds of stuff here for the live event takeover stuff. How would we be able to get the live podcast on cyberfmradio.com? Like we do this every day, Monday through Friday.
So if you go to the website itself, we have one channel there, our flagship channel, right? You go to the web player, and that's the channel that we all try to use because that's the one that's in front of you at all times. It's called Extreme Free for All. That name is 15 years old as well. So on Extreme Free for All, you get all the live rock and roll radio show, the Carolina Underground show, you got my show. We reward the listeners with the same token, just like the Brave browser rewards the people with that. So because
Oh, nice.
if we're gonna use a token to mark royalties, we might as well award the listener as a thank you for listening. So everybody kind of wins. My 10x show means that when I'm on the air, you're earning 10 times the normal amount, right?
Oh,
So
nice.
that's a hot 3 hour show. Normally you're earning X every couple of songs. But when I'm on the air, you're getting 10 times. It's the play, 10x. Right?
That's
We all want a
hilarious.
10x. Right? It's literally we're playing on that idea. And you do earn 10x. I do
That's
great guest
awesome.
giveaways. So that's a good relationship that we have with other tokens. Regular radio. You can answer this trivia question. I took Twitter. I like to say I reinvented the radio contest just using Twitter. I'll say, name this artist that released this song in 1989. Find a mistake in the genre. Some sort of contest. Be the first to tweet and retweet and like hashtag CyberFM, and you're
Ooh,
going to win
nice.
the great gas giveaway of whatever token company asks us to do an airdrop. Right? So now we've implemented airdrops as radio contests in live radio, plus you're earning our token. Now we've migrated to where we want to give you a stable coin, and you hold our tokens, and we gamified it. The amount of our tokens that you hold creates a tier of the amount of stable coin that you earn if you want to actually earn a little money. It's always a work in progress when it's a real product, right? When it's a real service. At the end of the day, we have 40 channels. You pay Spotify for skipping. You don't pay us for skipping. You pay Spotify for commercial free time. You don't pay us for commercial free time. In fact, we're paying you, right? We literally turn the tables around. One of our mottos is free money radio. It's FMR. It's free money. We're paying you for your attention at that moment.
That's
I mean,
pretty
I
awesome.
love that.
who doesn't want to enjoy
Yeah.
music? We got
That's
rap
pretty.
channel, country,
Yeah.
gospel, pop, whatever, reggae. You
Definitely.
name it, we got it.
Definitely gonna have to look into that. And also a pretty great way to wrap this up. If you can, let people know where to find you. You know, where your community may be at, any telegrams, Discords, Twitter, wherever you're at. Where are they gonna find you guys?
Well, you'll find it right there at cyber.fm. Right, if you scroll down, you'll find a Telegram and a Discord, and a Twitter, and
Oh, I love that you have the short handle. Yeah, it is just cyber.fm or longhand cyberfmradio.com.
to be honest, if you're a radio DJ, you want to be able to say the easiest stuff in the world. So when it used to be 15 years ago, it was cyber-FM. And it'd be amazing how many people are like, so dash, GAS8, no, G.
Yeah.
Like a hyphen? Oh, hyphen, HYP? No. You know what? Forget it. Go by cyberfmradio.com. Now the DJ was able to say cyberfmradio.com. I paid for cyber.fm. I broke my ass. They own that domain name because of me. And they wound up squatting. I paid a lot. I paid way too much because they bought that name back then when the name was getting hot. And I just said I have to have it. So I bought it. Cyber.fm just made the most sense. It made the most. Cyber, like you said.
All right, guys.
Well, yeah, it was great to hear, man. We definitely have to bring you back to talk about more because, man, you definitely got a lot of cool shit that you've done and that you got going on. So appreciate you for joining us.
You made the mistake of putting a radio guy on your show.
This has actually been
It was awesome.
the first time we went over 1 hour. So we're almost at 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I'm loving it. I want to do Spaces, which is going to be more long format. This is more of an hour-long show. But we're going to have to get you hooked up when we get the Spaces running and come on for the long haul show. Definitely want to get you back on the podcast as well. I'm sure you got a lot cooking over at cyber.fm. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you go and give Miggy Crypto Live a follow. He's the co-host with, the least, but at least he's here, eh?
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, love you, Mickey. Thanks, bro. James, appreciate you coming on. Everybody, if you're listening, make sure you go and check out cyber.fm or cyberfmradio.com. If you wanted to type all that out, you're more than welcome to, but you can just type out cyber.fm, enter, you're in. You don't even have to type www. Anymore. Like, if you still do that shit, I want you to snap your thumb, just like break it, because, yeah, you might as well. You're an idiot.
Don't even...
You can probably stick it in Google and click I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah, dude. Slam your thumb in a car door if you still type www.whateverthefuck.com. You're typing cyber.fm. You're done. Go check it out. I'll see you guys there. Appreciate it. Have a day.
See you later. Bye. Have a good weekend.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. It's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bro bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.